It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
Hey, it's Friday, April 16th. You know what that means.
It means another edition of the Binge Bum Podcast.
Hey, what do you know? I'm Dale.
I'm Scott.
I didn't know what to say. I was kind of left there in the blank, but
Why? Because I said it and I cut you off?
you did. Yes, exactly. You ready to get you some binging news?
Yeah, what's happening in the world of streaming video?
Hey, I thought this was pretty big. Justin Timberlake is returning to Apple TV Plus. They have announced a new hour-long drama series starring Timberlake. I found that interesting because it's a series and not an actual film. So he's going to be committing, I guess, those take a little bit more time to do, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
film.
you're committing more time to a production than just a movie. I mean, a movie might take a couple months.
Right.
This is going to take a bigger chunk of time. Do you know how many episodes it is?
I don't know, but I do know it's likely to be a limited series just based on that. But let me tell you what it's about. It's a series, and I didn't know any of this. I found this very interesting. Maybe you did. I don't know.
Well, I did because it was a movie. Yeah.
It was, yes. It's a series based on Gong Show host Chuck Barris and a memoir called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
You wrote that decades ago.
Yeah.
Right.
The memoir contained claims that Barris used the TV game show host to cover the fact that he was a CIA assassin. I mean, that's just crazy.
Well, yeah.
If I remember what that guy looked like, he does not look like an assassin.
Well, what do assassins look like?
I guess we probably shouldn't know, and then they wouldn't be very good at their job, right?
He claimed this for years, and I don't know that the CIA ever came out and
Well, they probably wouldn't verify that.
they wouldn't
right?
verify. They wouldn't comment either way, probably.
Yeah.
But it was a movie. I mean, they made a big theatrical release,
Yeah.
maybe about 15 years ago about this, and now they're going to make it a series.
I'm digging this, and Timberlake's going to play Chuck Barris.
Of course.
So
Who else would he play?
exactly, I don't know.
No, it's very fun. You know, Justin's been doing a lot. He did that movie most recently.
This
Palmer.
is on the heels of Palmer.
Was Palmer made for Apple TV also?
I don't think it was made for Apple TV, but Apple bought it.
Right.
I believe it was a South by Southwest film festival that did really, really well.
So I wonder if Justin's done with. No, he's not done with singing, right? He's been doing a lot of acting lately.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really kept up with his music, but I'm digging what he's doing here.
Cool. Well, has this gone into production yet? Do we know? Is there a timeline for this?
This was just announced, so I don't believe it's just in the very early beginning stages.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not something that's already been made yet.
Okay.
So this is exciting. And we just finished Bridgerton. Netflix has announced it's been renewed through seasons 4. And season 2 is already being produced.
Right. Yeah, they previously announced that they were definitely going to do a season 2. And
Exactly.
just a couple days ago.
Because that's
said-
when we found out that Simon wasn't returning
Right.
as part of the cast. So
Right. Simon was the Duke of Hastings,
Correct.
Who was basically one of the lead characters for the first season. And it was kind of disappointing to find out that he's not going to be part of the rest of the production based on how the first series ends.
I know. And someone told me, a friend of ours, we chatted a little bit earlier today prior to this taping, who told me that the series, of course, is based on books. Her understanding is that the second season, if it goes strictly by the book, that the next season will... So this was
It shifts focus.
Yeah, so this was Simon and Daphne,
Mhm.
basically, and her understanding is going to be one of Daphne's brothers is going to
Okay.
be the main focus, which
Right.
I can't remember his name, but the oldest one, I suspect, because
The
other
one who was
went
dating
traveling.
the one who was dating the opera singer.
Correct.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
So-
we've already given away lots of spoilers, but if you haven't watched Bridgerton season 1, highly recommend it. It's only 8 episodes. It goes by pretty quick.
Yeah.
We thoroughly enjoyed it. It's kind of unprecedented for a series to be renewed for 3 seasons. We've seen it happen a lot lately,
4.
though. For 3 additional
yeah,
seasons,
3 additional
renewed for
seasons.
3
Yeah.
additional seasons all at once. They just did that with Young Sheldon on CBS, broadcast TV too.
Yeah.
announced that they were going to make 3 more seasons of it, which is just bizarre to me.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's the #1 comedy, but to give it
it's a great
green
show.
light-
We enjoy that show.
We do enjoy it, but
Yeah.
what happens when he gets those awkward years? You know, I mean, he is a kid; they grow real fast.
Well, I'm hoping the story will progress.
Or maybe they thought, "Hey, we like the way you are right now. Let's make all 3 seasons all back to back to
All
back
right
to back
now.
to back
Yeah.
before you grow up into that awkward
Yeah.
teenage kid."
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, cool. Watch Bridgerton, guys, because you're going to have a lot to watch
Exactly.
coming. Yeah.
Oh, up next, if you like half-naked men, this story's for you.
What? Huh? Where?
HBO Max has ordered a new competition series dubbed The Real Magic Mike. That is a working title, not the real one.
Okay.
It's going to be 10 men are going to be selected to compete. The winner, of course, will receive a cash prize and an opportunity to perform at Magic Mike Live in Las Vegas.
Magic Mike Live was featured at the Hard Rock Hotel
Yes.
prior to it closing down and being turned into the Virgin Hotel. I don't know where its new home is,
I don't think it has one,
but I assume it's going to get one.
Exactly.
Right, because those shows are very popular in Vegas. There's
are.
Thunder from Down Under. There's a couple others.
Yeah.
So Magic Mike certainly will
Yeah.
live on.
Casting's currently underway, and anyone out there listening, if you're interested, if you have the balls to do it, go to backstage.com and it tells you all about how to apply.
I am writing that down. I think they need a super skinny 51-year-old. I'm going to sign up for that.
There you go.
Can you imagine?
No, I cannot.
I do not have the body
No.
for that.
I couldn't even bring myself to watch it if you were up there. I'd be cringing.
How horrible are you? I would do really, really well.
Would you?
No.
Good news for Discovery Plus. They've launched their streaming network on Amazon Prime channels on Thursday, just yesterday.
What exactly does that mean?
So the only way that I can describe it, because we don't use Amazon Prime channels, but we use, and you probably don't even know this, but we use Apple TV channels.
Right.
So basically, it's the app that kind of organizes all of our watch history and kind of keeps track what we want to watch. And then below that, you can subscribe to what they call channels. Like you can get your HBO Max, you can get your Shudder, you can get your AMC Plus, all that stuff.
All in one place.
So it's all subscribed in one place. That happened Thursday. It's currently only limited to U.S. residents, and only the ad-free version is available, which is $6 a month.
Right.
And the ad-supported version will be available in the coming months, it said.
Interesting.
Yeah. Discovery Plus is...
And we are actually a
Making some
subscriber,
moves.
right?
We are.
Yeah, I don't know if I've watched it yet. I need to tune in.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we watched it once or twice.
We watched a few.
Also, on this, Amazon Prime just announced today that they've reached 200 million subscribers in the United States.
Wow. It's
That's
a third of the country,
So
man.
they definitely have the most people
Yeah.
out of any of the streaming services
Oh, of course.
by default, because these people might
Right.
not necessarily have signed up for it for the Amazon Video.
Correct.
But they're getting it as part of their Prime membership.
Right.
And that's the
I
2-day
think people
free
forget
shipping and all
that,
that.
actually.
I think they might forget it. Yeah.
that they have this great thing.
And there's stuff on there. There's
Right.
stuff on there I still want to go watch.
Right.
Yeah. So we
and
need
Discovery Plus, we watched For Heaven's Sake. Remember, we kind of got into that. That was a
Right.
documentary about
that's
someone's
right.
great grandfather, and he's like mysteriously
the Cold Case.
the cold case.
From
Yeah.
centuries ago.
And so
Yes.
we need to finish that because it's supposed to be really good.
Absolutely.
It's time for a new section that I want to call eventually Unqualified Opinions with Dale and Scott.
I like that. That could be a whole podcast in itself.
I know, I like it, but I kind of want this to be it doesn't need to be a regular section, but anyway, it's basically our review. And what did we watch recently?
We watched Bad Trip, and
Yes.
we told them that we watched it last week, right?
Yes.
Or we're going to watch it that
we
night.
were going to watch it.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we've watched it,
We've watched it. Yeah.
and we laughed a lot.
Yes.
It's a very funny movie.
It's a funny movie, and I think that I had said last episode that my fear was all the funny parts were going to be in the trailer.
like
and-
like a lot of movies.
Exactly.
Right.
And I can say that I don't believe that was the case. There were some
No.
surprises, and man, it is very funny. And we have to make sure that for those who are going to watch this, to stick it out through the end, because there were, what do you call them? These like skits where they actually interact with the public.
Yeah.
And there were, I guess, they recorded several of them, and some of the ones that didn't
Make it into
into the film are at the end, and they're really funny.
Like after the credits or during the credits.
Yeah, and that's when they say, "Hey, you're on film.
Yeah.
You're on camera."
Well, so many great mostly comedies. Some dramas do it too, but most comedies have some kind of extra Easter egg thing in there after, either during the credits or at the very, very end after the last credit rolls.
Right.
So you always got to stick around to see what little gem is coming up. But just to give people a refresher on what this is, it's kind of a hidden camera comedy film. So it mixes the idea of doing little stunts in front of real people, unsuspecting people, to get their reactions, along with a semi-scripted story.
Right.
So these two,
there's you call it like an overarching story with these little skits involved.
So there's definitely some scripted parts in there. We know the actors know what's supposed to happen to get the story moving along, but every now and then they stop to do these really crazy, outlandish things to get the people who are just regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not giving anything away, one of the best parts was when they were in the bar.
There's some crazy shit happening in that bar.
Remember the little lady, the old lady?
Yeah.
Who, it was one of the best parts of the whole film.
You basically said nothing, but yes.
Well, I don't want to say anything.
I know. Okay, that is a great part.
But it's a recommendation.
Yeah, Eric,
that you should watch it.
It's headlined by these two great actors. They're comedians, Eric Andre and Lil Ray Howery. Howery.
Yeah.
And then Tiffany Haddish is also in there playing
great.
the escaped convict of one of the sister of one of the actors. Really great film, really fun. I'm surprised that more people didn't recognize the fact that this is Tiffany Haddish.
I know, right?
Right? But she obviously didn't look like herself. She was wearing super short hair, which she's sporting nowadays.
Yeah.
She wears wigs a lot of the time.
And maybe if you were a part of, well, not a part of it, but the skit, you would probably be so caught up in the ridiculousness of what's going on around you that you
might not realize.
You might not realize who these people are.
Well, and that's one thing they do in the closing credits is they actually, they'll come back in and Tiffany will be like, "Hey, it's me," and then you get the reaction of, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you." Yeah.
And there's probably more of that stuff, and I wish they would kind of release that into a separate thing.
We need that. We need that. So if you want just a kind of a movie that you can sit back, relax, and laugh your butt off, Bad Trip, I would recommend it. It's almost anybody. I mean, unless you don't like gross out. There's some gross out stuff in there.
There is.
It's,
it's not super kid friendly.
No, I wouldn't put my 12-year-old in front of it. But
there's some ridiculous stuff in there.
Yeah, but there's ridiculous stuff everywhere.
Watch it. We only have a couple of new show announcements for you this week. The first one is by Netflix, premiering April 23rd, Shadow and Bones.
April 23rd is next Friday.
Exactly. Oh. Yeah. Did you watch the trailer for this?
Of course I watched it. This is a fantasy show about this girl who kind of finds out that she has this special power. She has the light inside her.
Yeah.
That her community really needs real bad.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like a Game of Thrones / Mad Max almost.
It definitely has Game of Thrones look to it.
Right. Like with the fantasy and the special powers, but like the world that they're in reminds me of this Mad Max kind of thing.
It's kind of that. Yeah. It's they're in the middle of a war. They really need her. She's got something. They don't quite know and understand what it is.
Right. And how it will help bring this whole war-torn world or country together
back to life. And then there's kind of this element of a Yoda type character kind of training the girl to figure out how to use her powers. I don't know that it's for me. I don't love fantasy stuff. You don't like fantasy. I really don't. But I was a huge Game of Thrones fan. That did have a fantasy element to it, of course.
The thing that you always say, you don't like things where anything can happen. Right. It does feel like the series or shows like that could be spoiled in a way because there's no limitations and there's no...
You can do anything.
If you can do anything, there's no clever way to try to work out when you could just do anything.
And you don't have to explain it. It's just kind of like the Red Witch bringing Jon Snow back to life. It's like, okay, if that's the case, if that can happen in this world, then why do we get upset when anyone dies? Why can't they bring all the people, all of our favorite characters who died. Why can't
Right.
you bring them back?
Right.
Right?
No, I totally get it.
I mean, there has to be some danger involved. And in a show like that, I kind of want to know that if you're dead, you're gone.
Right.
Otherwise, there's no, there's no finality to anything. I guess that's my problem with fantasy.
Yeah. Okay.
And magic.
Well, that's Shadow and Bone on Netflix, April 23rd. The next one that we have for you is nothing new, but a great series for Hulu. April 28th is the season 4 premiere of The Handmaid's Tale.
A show I never got into. I hear it's really good, and maybe one of these days we'll.
One of these days we got to watch it. I think I've watched 1 or 2 episodes, and then something else kind of got in the way of it, and it's kind of been put on the shelf. But it wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, it definitely has its audience. It's got a huge audience. It's
Yeah.
one of the biggest shows on streaming.
I believe it was season 3 that they were in DC.
Oh.
It's a great picture of where they blocked off, and these handmaids were all dressed in their garb,
Yeah.
and they line the steps of the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
I think that was season 3.
I didn't even know it took place in the real world. So
Yeah.
I guess I have a lot to learn.
Got a lot to learn. You want to take this section?
I guess I have to since you're not talking.
My throat is sore. I've been talking so much.
Oh, you're so silly. All right, so we got our weekend watch list for you guys. I didn't even know what this was about. I knew there was some kind of competition show that Ellen was doing, but
Right.
Ellen's next Great Designer series is coming to HBO Max April 22nd. That's next Thursday. This is a furniture design competition show of
Yeah.
all things.
Right.
I remember, I think months back, we talked about the glass blowing competition, and I thought that
Yes.
was weird.
It's weird.
This is weird too, but in a good way. I mean,
Yeah.
Ellen is a real huge fan of furniture and
Yes.
innovative design. She's owned like 18 million houses. As soon as she completes a house and does renovations to it and gets all the perfect furniture for it,
Sounds like somebody else we know.
she and Portia sell it and go start over somewhere
Right.
else. So this makes sense for her. She loves this kind of thing, and it's a very different kind of show for her.
Exactly.
It's not all one-liners and getting laughs.
Right.
It's about finding the next great designer. And it's a competition show. There's $100,000 cash prize up for the winner, which is very fun. And Ellen, I guess, can't be there all the time because she's got lots of full-time gigs.
Right.
So they brought in Scott Foley, the actor. We know him from Felicity and a bunch of other stuff. He's kind of the de facto host, and then Ellen's in and out all the
Right.
time too. But it looks like she's very involved.
Yeah. I'm digging it because it's not another food show.
Mhm.
It's not another clothing making show. It's
Right.
furniture, and I can
Yeah.
get behind this.
Yeah, it's something different.
Right.
I mean, I was just watching Top Chef last night, and I'm like,
It's a lot of the same.
it's fun, but it's kind of the same thing
Right.
every season. It's
Yeah.
like, why can't they mix this up?
I know. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So that's going to be HBO Max on April 22nd. So right around the corner.
I like that.
And we talked about this a couple of episodes ago it was for the beginning of the month for Earth Month,
Right.
which we didn't know was a thing.
It's a thing.
I knew about Earth Day.
Oh, everything's a whole month.
Yeah, but I wanted to bring this up again because we're excited about this and we're definitely going to watch this. This is Apple TV Plus's The Year Earth Changed. Comes out today, narrated by David Attenborough, the famous nature documentarian narrator.
That's exactly what he is. And it's funny because we were just talking about this morning because they did an interview with him on CBS this morning.
They
this
did.
morning.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, because I'm a dork, I thought David Attenborough was also an actor, and I thought he was the guy in Jurassic Park, the
Right,
old guy from the
right.
original Jurassic Park movies. It turns out that was his brother,
Right.
Richard Attenborough, who
Right.
died several years
a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. David Attenborough is 94 years old, but still,
He's
very
still-
active and very involved
Yeah.
in these productions, and his voice is iconic.
Exactly.
And as soon as you hear it, if you guys don't know, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah, he's big on all the BBC ones, like the Blue Planet.
Oh well, he
The
is
Planet.
He is the BBC. I
Right.
mean, he's worked there since the 60s.
Yeah. So we want everyone to watch this. If you don't remember,
You must. It's your homework.
this takes a look at nature's response to a year of humans in lockdown.
Right.
And this is just supposed to be so great, and how the species has loved us not being around.
Oh, absolutely. And there's more than just that. I mean, there's even examples like the waters surrounding Venice, Italy, which was always, so busy with
Yeah.
boats and gondolas and traffic and cruise ships and all kinds of dirtiness from a million tourists a year.
Right.
And how it magically became clean in 2020. Of course, we're going to ruin that as soon as we all go
Soon
out of
we're back up.
lockdown and
Yeah.
start doing our things again. And the birds and the bees won't be very happy either.
Right.
But they were while we were in lockdown.
Yeah.
And that's what this looks at.
Yeah, that's what this looks at. And one of the things that they had mentioned on CBS this morning during this interview was whale and whale calves, that there seems to be a growth in survival rates of these calves because the mothers can talk to them, because they're not always side by side.
Right.
And apparently cruise ships block the sounds,
Yeah.
the
From
songs from traveling to their
Yeah.
calf. So
Amazing.
it's
Humans have done horrible things.
We've done
to this
horrible
planet.
things, yeah. If you want to learn about it, you watch The Year the Earth Changed.
Yeah.
Out right now on Apple TV Plus.
Also out today, April 16th on Disney Plus is a new series called Big Shot, which this is the first time I'm hearing about this. And I'm very excited about this because of who's in it.
I knew you would. That's why I put this in there.
John Stamos. He is playing a basketball coach who gets fired from the NBA and takes a job at an elite all-girls private high school. We've heard this. We've seen this
Yes,
story before. I mean, they've done it very well with what's his name in the soccer thing, Ted Lasso.
Oh, yes.
Kind of the same story.
Same thing.
But this is fun. I love John Stamos. He obviously took the pill that Rob Lowe took, because
Right.
both of them look. They're both about in their mid-50s, and they both look friggin' amazing. And they never seem to age.
He looks so distinguishable. Like he hasn't even changed from Full House
Yeah,
days.
right.
Crazy.
Right up there with George Clooney. I mean, these
Yes.
are good-looking guys. As
Right.
they get older, they just keep
Right.
getting better.
Maybe those should be the Magic Mike guys.
Right. This is a series. It's put on by David E. Kelly, who's done so many great series over the years. I love David E. Kelly and his writing and producing and directing. He's also married to Michelle Pfeiffer, which is very cool. So,
Oh.
Big Shot is a series, Disney Plus. It's out today. Does Disney drop all the episodes at once? Do they drop the whole thing? Or
Normally, no.
Okay.
They're out usually every Friday
Right.
is their drop day.
So you might get a couple on the first day.
Yeah.
So there's a
They
couple.
usually
out
don't
there
do
you can
that
get
either.
going. It looks cute.
Yeah, it does. It's for the family.
Yeah, the cast.
Just like Mighty Ducks.
It's wholesome.
Yeah.
It's the cast of girls looks great.
Yeah.
You gotta love a good sports thing every now and then. All right.
And you need something for the family.
All right.
There you go.
There you go. I'll watch it
Yeah.
because John Stamos.
We've come to the end of our show.
All right. That's fine.
And we want to thank you for listening to this episode of the Binge Bump Podcast, like always. And if you like the show, be sure to rate us wherever you like to listen to your podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. What are we reviewing next week? We got to make sure we put it on our list. Is it going to be one of these things?
Maybe.
All right. Let's tell them about. Well, it's going to be Big Shot.
Couldn't even bring myself to watch it.